I'm building a short, about 200 feet, barbed wire fence to keep the cows out of the pasture that's our backyard. My wife is a beekeeper and she wants to keep this couple acres with mostly native grasses, give her bees something to eat and keep things looking natural. If you're new to barbed wire fences, there's lots of different options. Two main types are a low tensile 12.5 gauge wire and a high tensile 15 gauge wire. The 12.5 gauge wire, you have to stretch a lot more than the 15 gauge wire. There's also a 2-point and 4-point wire, which is the number of points that each barb has. I always get the 4-point wire just because I guess more points is better, but I don't really think it matters all that much. You also see on the tag where it says Class 3 or Class 1. Class 3 wire has a much better coating of zinc to keep it from rusting. So my preferred choice is the 15 gauge Class 3 4-point wire. I didn't notice at the time, but the microphone sure picks up the bees buzzing around. Here I'm tying the barbed wire to the post. This fence has one side of it with wooden posts and the other side with metal posts. And that's just because it's going to connect to a pipe fence that I'm putting around our new house. I think generally wooden posts are a lot easier. You can just always put a staple in it, whereas a metal post you can't. I normally don't wear work gloves, but it's pretty much a requirement when you're dealing with barbed wire. Most of the barbed wire fences I put in are 5 wires top to bottom. Now I'm reeling out the wire. I built this attachment to go on the back of my 4-wheeler about 5 years ago, and it's pretty convenient. When I was a kid, we used to roll out wire using a tractor 3-point hitch. We put the reel on a pipe that was on the lift main arms. You could also just have 2 people walk with the reel on a pipe as well. I don't think anything beats this 4-wheeler attachment. Just watch out, this barbed wire might scratch that Trailer Queen deer lease 4-wheeler you got. Now that the wire is rolled out, it's time to stretch it. I've used lots of different wire grippers, but this simple tool is easily the best one, and it never breaks, and it's relatively inexpensive too. I'm using the skid steer as something to pull against, but you can use a tree, a tractor, a truck, pretty much anything that's not going to move. The goal is to stretch it tight, but not so tight that it breaks. This is where I think that 15 gauge wire is a much better product, because you don't have to stretch it as much as you do the 12 gauge wire. On a really long fence, the time of year also matters. If it's cold when you stretch the fence, next summer it's going to be loose again. If this was a wooden fence, I'd put a staple in right here before I tie the wire. When I cut the wire off the reel, I always leave it extra long because you can never add any. If you leave the tail long, it gives you extra leverage as you're wrapping it around the wire. My dad used to insist that I make really tight wraps, so I guess this is me being a rebel. If it's in the middle of a drought and the cows are eating the grass really close to the ground, they can always pick up scrap metal, so you never want to leave pieces of barbed wire laying around. Cows can get hardware disease, which is where they have a piece of scrap metal stuck in their stomach. Now I'm putting in some T-post clips every 50 feet or so. I'll go back when all the wires are up and put in the rest of the clips. Channel lock makes this T-post clip tool, and it's really handy. One thing you can see from this photo is I shredded the fence line before I put it up. It's always handy to get rid of anything so that the barbed wire doesn't catch on stuff while you're rolling it out. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something about barbed wire fences and how to stretch them. Please give the video a thumbs up Put a comment down below if you have a question or comment. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Have a blessed day.